Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to the 203K in a Box FHA Consultant Training and Marketing System All-Power Team Coaching Call from May 2014. This is your host and the creator of the 203K in a Box system, Catherine Hall, welcoming you all to our call tonight. I'm very excited to have you all on the call tonight, and we have some very interesting information I want to share with you today. First of all, before we actually get started getting busy with a whole lot of things, I want to let you know that we have completed the uploading of the webinar that gives more information and unpacks a little bit about inspecting for FHA minimum property standards. I actually completed a series of CEU courses this week. My throat's a little sore. I just finished my last 16 hours of continuing education, not as a student but as an instructor. And a lot of the real estate agents that I talked to in the classes came up with a great idea that they would like us to market to they'd like to be able to utilize the MPS system as a tool to help sellers. And they were really excited about offering MPS as a pre-sale product. It's inexpensive, it's easy to do, it gives them an understanding of what to expect from the appraisal. It isn't as time-consuming or intensive as a full home inspection, and it is not as much of an investment on the part of the seller, and it also lets them know if the property can qualify for an FHA mortgage or not, what needs to be done to make it qualify. And I hadn't even considered it from that perspective. Also, they were looking at it from the standpoint of if we're going to make it a 203K project, we can give the clients an idea, the customers an idea on what some of the things are that are going to need to be included in that 203K. So I was really excited about this new avenue for utilizing MPS, and so I was, very interested in working with it as a program for us. So I was very, very surprised about that opportunity. So I'm actually going to be working on some flyers and some marketing campaigns for us to be able to present this as a seller's program. So I'm really excited about that opportunity. We have a guest on our call tonight, and we have a guest with us, Marcus Daniels from American Payment Solutions. APS is a fantastic retail merchant provider. They are the company that I use. I could not believe that everything that I needed was able to be given to me, and no setup charges and no activation. It was fantastic. The swipers, all that equipment that I needed was there for me. Online bill pay, online payment processing. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. I'm going to let Marcus talk about it in just a few minutes. I'm going to let him introduce himself and also take over the screen and share what the opportunities are as far as working with a payment solution provider. As a 203K consultant, however, you need to be aware of the fact that you're going to be collecting payments from your clients at multiple junctures. You see, when you do a typical feasibility report, you're not going to, and unlike a home inspection, and now as a home inspector you can use this as well, obviously, but as a 203K consultant, you're getting paid in a series of activities for your client. So if you are working with a 203K customer and you go out to the property and you do your initial feasibility report, you typically get paid right there at the property. So when you go out to the property and you do your feasibility report, and I'm going to bring up one on the screen. Get to that in a second. Hang on, open it up. There we go. Okay. So if you look at the feasibility report that I have on the screen now, what you're looking at is the fact that at the time of the inspection, the client paid me $400. It was a $94,675 project, which meant there was a work write-up fee that would be due of $500. And that being the case, the way, as you know, when you do a 203K, you do all of your information gathering and documentation at the time of the feasibility study so that you don't need to go back out to the property. So if you're not needing to go back out to the property in order to complete the work write-up, what other way are you going to capture the funds in order to release that work write-up except by having a payment processing system to be able to capture that income, that revenue, either online from the customer paying you with a credit card. It's also an easier way for them to document that they've paid you. They have that quick and immediate proof of payment as opposed to a check that has to be cleared and has to get copies of, and receipts. They have that proof of payment that they can then share with their lender to document the payment of the fees for their reimbursement at the settlement. So I find that especially when we do things on the back end, and we do a lot of things on the back end here. For example, I will do a termite inspection, as you know, on every home inspection, whether the client is asking it for it or not, largely because even though we may not be requested to do a termite inspection per se, we are always looking for the evidence of damage caused by wood-destroying insects. So I'm going to be doing a termite inspection, even if it's the purpose of finding out if there's damage that needs to be repaired through the 203K activities. And so we tell the clients, as you can see on this report here, that there was zero charged for the termite inspection. If they need it, it's a $75 fee that would be added to the work write-up. Now, that also is something that we have real estate agents and clients paying for, usually sometimes as late as the morning of settlement, saying, did you do a termite? I know you usually do. Oh, that's great. Can I please get the copy because we need it for settlement? We just found out. No worries. Give me a credit card. We'll process that credit card, and then you can get your termite report right there at the settlement table. So now, as a show of hands, I actually didn't make what I'm going to do is, while I'm having Marcus introduce himself and take over the screen, and while he's getting prepared to do that, I'm going to try to set up a quick poll. I meant to set this poll up earlier. How many of you, and I'm asking you to complete this poll right now, are currently do not have a credit card processing system? So I'm going to ask you to answer this poll right now, and the answers are yes, you do, or no, you do. The question is, how many of you, who does not? Actually, the question is, who do you have, that's the right way to pose the question. Do you currently have a credit card processing system? Yes or no? All right, so I'm going to create that poll, save it, and now I'm going to ask everyone, I'm going to select that one poll, and I'm going to ask everyone if you could please answer that question for me while I prepare to give Marcus Daniels control of the computer. So if everybody could enter that information. All right, so now, excellent. All right, so this is good. So now we have some people who are logging in, and great. So we have about 100% of everybody, and fortunately, everybody here currently has a merchant provider that they're working with. So Marcus, I want you to do what you did for me and explain what some of the benefits are of working with your company and providing information as far as some of the differences that they can get by working with you. So without any further delay, I'm going to unmute Marcus. Marcus, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Marcus, shall I give you control of the mouse for your computer?
Sure. We'll see how it works.
Relax. It'll be fine. All right, so I'm going to make you the presenter.
All righty.
Okay. And I've made you, I am no longer the presenter. Okay, so we can close out the poll. And let me know, let's see if I have to do something special. Let me see if I can close the poll. Good. And there we go. And now I am just giving you control over the call. I'm going to see, so you now have control. So you have to request it, Marcus. You have to say yes to, I gave you mouse and keyboard control.
Okay. Do I click the show my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I think that might be
Perfect.
that.
Yep, it's there. Okay, great. Marcus, take it away.
Outstanding. Well, first of all, Catherine, thank you for providing me this opportunity. And Good evening, everyone. I think it's a little later for you than it is for me, as I'm on the West Coast region. But as Catherine said, my name is Marcus Daniels. I'm the Director of Operations with American Payment Solutions, and I've had the opportunity of being able to provide Catherine and her business with a better solution for their credit card processing. So I'd like to speak about what we can offer you today, and then of course if there are any questions, I would definitely be more than willing to answer them and help anyone out. So let me go through here. So ultimately what our difference is, and you can read, but I will explain a little bit, is we have about 100 years of combined experience within the payment processing industry and the individuals that we have that work for our company. We have more than 500 integrations, and we are committed to providing excellent service and innovative solutions. I know one of the things that the CEO says on a daily basis is we are a solutions company. So whatever the situation might be that we're presented with, we're going to develop a solution for that situation. That's why we have so many integrations and so many different options for your payment processing, because we are here for you. We give you the tools that you need from our extensive selection, and like I said before, our focus is you. We do provide unmatched customer service and any type of service. That is one of the things that we pride ourselves on, is our customer service. And forgive me if I might bounce around a little bit, but sometimes I just kind of shoot from the hip. We are one of the only payment processors that I've actually come across of in a lot of my research that answer the phones, that take the calls directly, and that actually know our merchants. So that is one thing that sets us apart. I know, especially for you, and I can speak for myself, that time is worth a lot more money than a lot of things, and me wasting my time, you know, if any of us have called DirecTV or your phone company and you sit there and have to push a million buttons to get to somebody, it gets pretty irritating pretty quick. So the fact that you can call us, somebody will immediately answer the phone, and you'll get prompt resolution is definitely a plus for using our company, and definitely a plus for your time management, so you don't have to waste your time. Okay, as far as this page goes, there's a little bit about us, and while I've been blabbing on, hopefully everyone had the opportunity to read a little bit. Let me move on here. So some of the benefits of accepting credit cards as a payment solution with American Payment Solutions. Oh, there's a typo there. I apologize for that. Okay, ultimately, I mean, we live in an electronic world. As we all know, credit cards are the majority, not the minority. The other week, I actually went to get passports for my children, and when I went to pay, I took my credit cards, and they actually stopped me and said, well, I'm sorry, but you have to pay by check for a certain portion of it. And to be honest, I was blown away, because other than one instance that I can remember about 5 years ago when I had to pay my water bill and they would only accept checks through the utility service, nobody accepts checks anymore. Not only that, how many people really carry around checks or cash? Not many. So credit cards have become the leading way of paying for anything nowadays. If you don't already accept them, then obviously it might make things a little bit harder, but I think from what Catherine said, the majority of the individuals on here tonight do already accept credit cards, which is good. It'll increase business by increasing payment options for your customers, but again, if you already have that capability, then you already know that. With us, it is extremely easy to accept cards with multiple acceptance options. Like I said before, we're a solutions company. So if there is a way that you want to accept credit cards, if there's a specific situation that your company has, some need that you want to fulfill, we will work with you to fulfill those needs, and most likely we already have a solution for it. We have a customizable plan that fits your needs and the needs of your customers. We actively monitor your account and try to help prevent any fraudulent activity. One of the benefits of us being here and being available when you call is you can get to a decision maker. If you have an issue, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, you can call us. Like I said, we know who you are, and we get to your needs right away. And that all ties into the prompt resolution without waiting for weeks for an answer. You know, again, I'm the Director of Operations, so everything on the operational side comes through me, and I have a direct line to everybody underneath me. So when the call comes in, when something happens, it comes straight to me, and I'm able to take care of it in a timely manner. If not, the individuals who work for me are. Some of the benefits that we do provide Catherine touched on them very briefly, but we do provide free setup and activation, free PCI compliance services. I'm hoping that everyone who currently accepts credit cards knows what PCI is. If you don't, then I believe that your payment processor is really doing you an injustice. We do take it in our hands to actively call our merchants and make sure that they are PCI compliant. We walk them through the scans, we walk them through the process, and we ensure that they're good to go. We don't just assume that they are good to go, we make sure that they are. We don't charge annual fees. We don't charge any application fees. If you are currently processing, which I think Catherine said most of you are, this is something that we provide. I will pay you $500 if we cannot currently beat the rate that you have. That's something that we offer, and I can almost guarantee that we can beat your rate.
I was stunned when I was first approached by Marcus, and they did the comparison, and they showed me, and I could not believe how much money I saved. I actually didn't believe it. I said, where's the catch? I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I kept saying, okay, all right, so now what else is there? What else is there? And I kept trying to push and probe to find out where that other shoe was that was going to drop on my head from them, and it never did fall. So I can tell you personally, I was stunned how much money I was losing from my other company.
And again, what we are able to provide with that, and I want to explain just briefly because, like Catherine said, she was stunned and she asked questions, and a lot of people ask the same thing. Well, what's the catch? Where's the hidden fees? What are you going to hit us with? Oh, you provide us a terminal and a solution for free? That's unheard of. Where is the catch? Well, really, there's no catch. The difference between us and the other processors are honestly our client base. Yes, we don't have any upfront fees. To be honest, depending on the account that I sign, it takes us anywhere from 12 months to 18 months to actually make up for that loss with the amount that we give you for free up front. But our merchant clientele stays with us for decades. We don't have to worry about losing individuals like other processors do. Yes, they can hike the rates up and they can make more money, but we do a service to our individuals, and we stay alive as a company and make a profit by providing that service to our merchants, showing them that we're a reliable company and they never want to leave us. So we don't have to charge those ridiculous rates because our service speaks for itself, and when everybody loves you, they're not going to want to leave you. The other additional benefit that we do offer is we can provide next-day funding for qualified merchants. I know there are other processors out there who can't do that. We have the ability to provide that for you. I decided to focus a little bit on some of the mobile aspects of it and the virtual terminal aspect of the processing. Now, we can provide.
Before you touch on that, Marcus, I do have one question from the field, and I'm going to ask the questions as they come up instead of waiting until the end. That way, in case the question's pertinent to what you're talking about or hasn't, you can always tell me.
Okay.
So one of our members is asking, do you offer e-check verification?
Yes, I do believe we have e-check verification.
Can you tell me what that is? Because I don't know what that is.
It's from my understanding, and I'll be completely honest with you, if there's a question that I'm not completely sure that I know the answer, I'm not going to try to BS my way through it. I'm going to tell you flat out that I'm not 100% sure because there is so many different aspects to this, but I will definitely get you an answer very promptly. From my understanding, the e-check verification is a service to where you can accept checks as a form of payment. I know we do have services like that to where we can accept checks as a form of payment processing, and there's also the guarantee for those checks, whether you scan it in or whether you have an actual system that scans it through like you would see in a grocery store.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Hopefully that answers the question, and if not, please, my email and contact information will be on this afterwards, and if I did not answer any question with the full extent of how you would like it answered, please let me know and I'll get you all the information you need later on.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So like I was saying, we have a solution for almost anything, but being that you're in the business that you are, most of the time you're going to be out in the field. So I could sit here and talk all day about a standalone terminal that's going to plug into your Ethernet and sit on your countertop, but most of you aren't going to have a countertop or you're not going to need that solution. But what you are going to need is a lot of the mobile solutions that we do offer, the virtual solutions that we also offer. We do have the mobile processor, and this is just a picture that shows you the application that you would download and kind of what it looks like. You know, it works on any iPhone, Android phone, like I said here, tablets. It is PCI compliant. The funds would deposit directly into your account. It gives you the ability to swipe the cards because we offer that plug-in device to swipe your cards. You can also key the cards on the phone as well, but swiping is definitely more beneficial for you, and it actually protects you. So we do offer that free of cost. And like I said earlier, live customer service over the phone. I know I might hit on that all the time, but really, you know, I have had questions in the past. Well, why would we want to switch to you? That's not a whole lot of savings. And I mean, people view it a lot differently. I look at $10 a month and go, woohoo, that's awesome. I'm going to take that deal. Some people look at $10 a month and go, okay, that sucks. Now, I'm not saying we're only going to save you $10, but it's all in the eye of the beholder. But one thing that I do tell everyone is, okay, let's forget about the money. Let's worry about the time. You know, our customer service will save you time. It will save you hassle. I actually had one individual that I was speaking with who spent 2 weeks trying to get their contract from their other company, and she didn't get anywhere. I could have had that to her in 30 minutes. So it just kind of all depends on what you want and what you're looking for and what's going to benefit you and your company. Here's a couple shots of what it would look like if you had the mobile processor. Things are very easy to operate. We will also call you and go over all this with you. Like I said, you can key things in. You can also swipe. Some of the interesting and nice settings that this does have is after you've entered in the payment information on your card, as you can see on the additional info portion, you can enter in the information of that individual, and it will actually should save it in there for you, so that way if they're a recurring customer, you can go back and pull up their name, and then you should only have to enter a small amount of information. But it will save a lot of the stuff for you. If you do have, our virtual terminal offers the vault, which secures the individual's name, their credit card information, and you can keep it locked and secured in there. So say you have somebody on a recurring payment, or you have a customer that you know you're going to be charging a card to all the time, you can put that in there. You don't have to worry about swiping it every time or entering the information every time, because that does become a hassle. Let me go to the next slide here. This does kind of cover our virtual terminal a little bit. Now, can you see, Catherine, can you guys see my right screen as well? I know I have two screens.
No, we only can see the one screen. The one that says APS Pays Virtual Terminal.
Okay, now I'm dragging it over. Now can you see
Yes.
this one?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to go here and just show you very briefly. I just want to go. This is what it would look like if you log in. Now, if everyone wants to, I think this is all being recorded. If you want to,
yes, it is.
And write this down. If you go to apsmerchants.com, and then as you saw up on the top of the screen right here, I went to Products and Solutions, Internet Merchants, and on the right side it shows View Demo. Now you want to view the Gateway demo. Level 3 demo is an option that we, Level 3 processing is an option that we provide if you accept a lot of corporate purchasing cards. This we have a solution that we can lower your rates, your interchange rates, what Visa and MasterCard charge you, most of the time by over 1%. And again, we don't make anything from that. That's actually just saves you money. I have no idea what just happened here. Okay, so this is just an example of what the screen would look like. Now, of course, it would say your name up here instead of APS Pays Demo. If you go down to video tutorials, you can actually watch some quick videos that take you through how the process would be if you were to accept a card. Now, this option, this provides you the option to either key it in, or we can send you a swiper that plugs into your computer and you can still swipe the card. So like I said here, it's very easy. These are the required fields for just a basic charge, and then everything else you don't have to go into, but we walk you through that. When we sign you up, we take you step by step through the process, explain to you how to do this, answer any questions that you might have, and make sure that you're well taken care of. So this is something that we do provide. And again, one of the big things that I kind of hit on, and I've said a bunch of times, is we offer the solution to where you can swipe the card. The only reason that I mentioned that is there are other solutions where you key in. There's two separate things about keying in. One is a lot of the times your interchange rates are going to be a little higher. When I say interchange rates, I mean Visa and MasterCard, American Express, hard cost. That has nothing to do with us. It all depends on the specific card that you take and the specific mode in which you use that card. So typically, keyed-in transactions where you do not swipe it, you get charged a little more because it's a little less secure. Visa and MasterCard looks at it and goes, well, how do I know that card was secure? How do I know the card holder is actually the individual handing you the card? Now, the other aspect of this is having the opportunity to be able to swipe the card will also protect you from chargebacks. And if you don't know what a chargeback is, it's somebody saying, typically saying, I did not do that. It wasn't me that placed that charge. Well, if you swipe the card, if you got them to sign, if you provided them with the receipt, it's going to be really hard for them to prove that they didn't do that. We do offer other printers that come with our terminals. We have a new solution where it's a Bluetooth printer, so you can still swipe everything on your phone and it'll print out to a little Bluetooth printer that you can take around with you. We also provide terminals that are wireless terminals. So if you didn't want to use your phone, I can send you a terminal that works off of 3G, and you can print out a receipt right then and there. So like I said, there are multiple options, and we have a solution for almost anything. So if you want to know more information or have something that you have in mind that you don't already know if you have or not, or if your current processor has available, just go ahead and ask.
We have a question that is also one of the questions I was going to ask. Do you integrate with ISN, Inspection Support Network?
Inspection Support Network. Let me check really quick.
Okay.
I will be honest, there are so many different things that we do integrate with. I know my project manager has a list of everything. This is somebody that I'm not 100% sure.
It's an inspection ordering center where people can, where inspectors and consultants can accept orders for service, and the client can pay for that service right there when we can send an email to a client with a link so they actually can pay for their purchase right there online.
Okay. And let me just see here really quick. You said it was called?
Inspection Support Network. And while he's looking that up, ladies and gentlemen, we have his contact information right here on the screen. Marcus Daniels, Director of Operations, and his phone number is 888-685-1900, extension 407. And his email is M as in Marcus, Daniels, D-A-N-I-E-L-S, at apsmerchants.com. I can tell you personally that the merchant provider that I carried before was charging me lots of additional fees that I didn't realize they were stacking multiple fees onto a single transaction. And unless you are able to understand some of these reports, it's hard to determine where the fees truly are that you're paying. And the other thing was with the other company I was working with, and I'm not going to drop any names, I could not talk to a human being to save my soul. I would talk to someone and they would not be the right person, and then they would say, well, we'll have to have someone call you back or send an email with your merchant ID number and this number, and we will follow up with by email. It was a nightmare. And, you know, it was even a nightmare just getting out from under them. To get them to cancel and close my account was a drag nightmare. So, and I know that APS helps with all that. They give you the form. They give you the pre-printed form that you can send. You can print off, sign it, and then email or mail it to your merchant to make sure that it's properly completed, all the information necessary to get them to transfer your merchant account to your new provider. So were you able to find that integration?
No, ma'am, I wasn't, but that's something, first thing tomorrow morning, let me do a little more research. It all depends on who the back-end processor is that they actually go through. So
I believe they are connected to Authorize.net. I'm not sure.
If they are, then yes, we do.
Okay.
I can tell you 100% if they're associated with Authorize.net, we have an integration into Authorize.net, so yes, we can integrate into there. Everything can still go through us, and it'll pretty much stay the same way it is. One thing I can say, again, I've talked about mobile solutions. I've talked about pricing. Ultimately, it just depends on what you want. Now, all of you are trying to be successful. You don't get successful without taking chances when you see them. What I'm willing to provide just right off the bat is shoot me an email, give me a call, and I can provide you with a free side-by-side comparison of what you're currently getting charged and what we can offer you, and then we can also talk about solutions. If I can't save you anything, if I can't provide that solution for you, I'm really not going to BS you. I'm just going to tell you I can't provide it.
And aren't they going to get a little bit of a discount or something because they're coming through 203K in a Box, National Association of FHA Consultants?
Yes, absolutely. We will provide that discount. We'll provide, again, we'll do everything we can to help you. The business that I work in, it's actually a family-built business. The CEO built it from the ground up 30 years ago. I do happen to actually be a member of that family. So again, if you want prompt resolution, I'm related to the CEO. I don't know how much more prompt you can get. And again, there are multiple options out there, and I could go on for days and days and days. But if you're interested in at least seeing what it's going to get you, I can probably spend, I think you might have to spend maybe 10 minutes of your time to send me a statement, talk to me for a couple minutes, and I can get you at least a side-by-side comparison to show you how the pricing will work for you. And then if you're interested, because let's face it, that's really what people focus on from the beginning is, well, am I going to save money? And then after that, we can talk more in depth about what else I can do for your business, what else I can do for you, and how we can provide you a better solution than you currently have. So hopefully you can make more money and be more profitable.
Well, let me ask you a question, Marcus, just because it's one that came up for me. When we are with a merchant provider, are we under any kind of a contract to stay with them for a certain amount of time, or can we cancel it at any time? What is the typical scenario?
So it all varies by merchant services provider. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's a set plan, it's a set amount of years. The typical amount of years is a 3-year contract. There are providers out there that offer a month-to-month. There are providers out there that offer a 1-year agreement. I will tell you right now that our contract is typically a 3-year contract. But, people get really scared when they hear that term. Honestly, it's really not that bad because what we offer, like I said, is a solution to everything. If you call us and say, hey, Marcus, I'm not sure about my rates, somebody quoted me this. If I can't beat your rates, I'll let you go for free. If I can't provide you with the solution you need, I'll let you go for free. If you go out of business, God forbid, I'll let you go for free. If you sell your business, I will let you go for free. So ultimately what I'm telling you is, while there is that 3-year number on there, the only time you're going to get charged anything with us is if you decide to just up and leave me without telling me. Realistically, I think that's pretty fair because look at any cell phone company or DirecTV. If you leave those guys, they don't care what the reason is. They're going to charge you for the most part.
So should we have to expect any kind of a disconnection fee from our present merchant provider, possibly?
It depends. Quite possibly, yes. I have seen merchant providers actually I'm dealing with a customer who came to us, and then their merchant provider hit them with like a $3,000 fee, and this is one of the rare cases. Now, unfortunately, that provider is still hitting them with the fee even a month before they're out of contract. And I can share a little secret right now in hopes that people will come to us, and I guess just a tiny little trade secret. If you're currently in a contract and you want to get out of it, we can help you get out of it. It might involve changing your bank account number and setting things up to a different bank account, but we can help you get out of it. I'm not saying we can pay the fees if they're going to charge something. A lot of the times we can try and help if there's a cancellation fee, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we can pay for it. But what I'm going to tell you is we can help you provide a solution to fit your needs, whether it's finding a way to help you get out of the current contract that you're in or helping with the cost depending on the amount of the cost and the situation. But I can tell you we'll at least help provide a solution and try to help you in some way.
Excellent. Well, we have some more questions. Hold on for 1 second, Marcus. Okay. We have a customer here who's saying, I'm using the Square. how can you beat this? I concede the customer service argument. Okay, and so the customer he's saying, I definitely understand that you can provide me more customer service. Can you beat the rate that I'm getting from Square?
Well, Square is going to give you a flat 2.75%. Okay, that's kind of outrageous. That's on top of interchange. So Visa and MasterCard is going to charge you your rate. They're going to charge you their rate. Now, hey, if you are doing, I will be completely honest, if you're doing about $1,000 or less in credit card processing, you should stay with Square. It's going to be more, it's going to be better for you. You're going to save more money that way. But if you're doing $1,000 or more, Square is really not going to be the right option for you. One of the things that they don't tell you with Square that's in the fine print is, I think the number is about $3,000. I could be a little off, but if you have deposits over $3,000, you know, they could actually hold those funds for over 30 days. If you look on their website, you can find it in the fine print somewhere that they actually say that. So again, you know, maybe I can't beat them, but I have not come across one situation with Square where the person is processing more than $1,000 a month that I haven't been able to save them money. So, you know, what's the worst that can happen? One, yes, I'm going to provide you better customer service and save you time, which is also saving you money. Let's face it, time equals money. But, you know, spend 5 minutes, see if we can help you out or not. If we can't help you out, then at least you know you have a good provider.
I was using Square, and as you know, with the 203K project, I mean, just well, think about it. With just 4 home inspections at $400 a piece, that's $1,600. That's $1,600, and I actually was doing $500 to $1,000 in work write-up fees as single transactions. I found out that I didn't realize that you know, spending and processing $3,000 to $8,000 a month in credit cards was with Square. They were making money on me, and especially considering when I found out that 50%, especially with work write-ups, if you guys are only using Square, if that's the only merchant provider you have, that 2 point whatever percent is only if you have the credit card there to swipe. And when you're doing the work write-up and you complete the work write-up, you're going to be capturing a credit card number over the phone and keying it in. That's a non-swipe transaction, and I believe the number goes up to like 3.4 or 3.5.
Yeah, it gets pretty ridiculous.
So remember, you're not going to be able to use your Square swiper for your work write-up transactions because you're not going to be physically in front of the customer. Did you have a comment, Marcus?
Oh, no. I was just going to say you're definitely right. It can get pretty ridiculous with the rates, and there's a lot of fine print within it. I haven't read a Square contract, and you know, all I do know is from experience. We've been able to save a lot of customers a lot of money and provide a better solution.
Well, you know, the reason why, you know, I had been talking to you all about me bringing Marcus onto the call for several months now. I had been dealing with Marcus, and he helped me so successfully, and I said, I'm definitely going to get you to share with my members because it was quick. It took less than like a week to get this completely done, and I was expecting this lengthy, drawn-out process. It took less than a week, and that was largely because they couldn't get a hold of me. They couldn't find me. But what happened was, the reason why I really pushed myself to get Marcus on today was one of our members, he's a new home inspector, brand new to the industry, and he started his company, and he signed up with Square, and he took, I think, like 2 or 3 large transactions. He was doing 203K write-ups, and he took large fees, and Square canceled him for no reason, just dropped him like a brick. And they had told him he could reverse the transactions and find some other way to capture the money, or they were going to hold those transactions for 60 or 90 days.
That's a little ridiculous. You know, and I haven't heard of that, and that's actually kind of scary. You know, we do, incorporated with our risk department, which I do run, by the way, what we do is when we set you up, we ask you specific questions so that way we can keep an eye on your business. But, you know, we can make sure that we protect you. You know, we ask you what your average ticket's going to be, what your highest monthly volume is, and we can set certain parameters just to kind of protect you and make sure that nothing's going on. Because let's face it, we are in a society today to where it seems like there's a scam for everything. So we have set specific safeguards in place to where we can watch what's going on. For example, if a credit comes across in excess of a certain amount, it comes through my desk. And if there's not a matching debit for that credit, I'm going to call you and say, hey, did you know that somebody's trying to credit this card $1,000? And I do. You'd be surprised how many times I get the response of, no, I had no idea. Well, an employee just decided he was going to credit somebody or credit himself, and, you know, it happens every once in a while. I'm not saying it'll happen to you guys. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Well, I was just going to say I'm not saying it'll happen to you, and, you know, every situation's different. But what I'm saying is there are, you know, those safeguards that we try to take to make sure that we protect you as the merchant, because obviously, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. If we're protecting you, we're also protecting ourselves in the same aspect. And if we keep you happy, then you're going to want to stay with us, so everyone's happy.
Doug, you just sent a whole bunch of information, and I forwarded it over to Marcus. Can you ask whatever question you're relating to all that thing you just typed over on the screen?
Yeah. I sent you a list of the merchant gateways that they accept.
Who? ISN?
ISN, yeah.
Okay. Marcus, did you see the email, the chat that I just forwarded to you?
I don't know. I'm looking here.
Well, basically, I'll basically tell you, they take a whole bunch. ISN takes like every known gateway known to man: Authorize.net, Transaction Central, PayPal website, Payment Pro, My Virtual Merchant.
We're good.
Those guys, fine. Okay.
Yeah, then you're good. Just with that one, just hearing Authorize.net, I can tell you right away that you're good. We have a direct integration into Authorize.net. It all depends also. So it sounds to me like, well, I mean, Authorize.net or any of these companies are going to be the actual payment processor. You know, this website or you know, what this does is going to help you with the other. I'd have to do a little more research. I don't want to talk out of turn.
Could you do me a favor and go into the different, the process of credit card processing? Because I know it took me a little while to figure it out, because there are multiple layers inside a single credit card transaction that, for me, was a little bit confusing at first. Could you unpack that a little bit for us?
Are you talking as far as, well,
when I receive a credit card, I actually don't get the money from the named credit card company on that card. That it goes through a series of steps. It goes to the gateway, and then the gateway goes to my merchant provider, and then my merchant provider goes to the merchant provider for the credit card, which goes to the bank for that merchant. And you fix that, okay? Fix what I just said.
Yeah, well, there is a long process to it, and it also depends on what solution you have. It's different if you had some kind of shopping cart or you know, stuff like that. But basically, yes, what happens is you'll charge somebody's card, and then those funds get routed, pretty much. The funds will route through us, and they will also route through, I believe it's the issuing bank, and then up to the Federal Reserve. And then from there, the money gets dropped into your account. But initially, the money that does, God, you know, that is kind of a good question. From my understanding, that's exactly how it works. But I know there are different instances where, you know, it all kind of varies depending on a specific situation. But no, the money doesn't typically come from that person's bank. The money will actually come from the Federal Reserve, and then they'll take the money, from my understanding, from Visa and MasterCard, and then they take the money from that person's issuing bank.
So it's kind of like a whisper down the lane with money.
Yeah, you know, you'd be surprised by how much money, where it goes, and how it goes through. It is kind of ridiculous. But and again, that's one of the biggest things, just so you know, when I mentioned PCI, which PCI actually stands for Payment Card Industry, but it's the standards that they have set to help secure these transactions. So if you're not secure, then a breach is more likely to occur, and you could lose a lot more money. So that is, again, that's why we provide the PCI support. That's why we walk you through it, because we want to make sure that when your money gets routed through all those different places, everything's protected from the very beginning point, which is your phone or your computer or your terminal.
So basically, if anyone is interested in doing this, then they simply should just email you or give you a call, and you will ask them to forward a copy of a recent statement and then you'll set up a 10, 15-minute phone call where you'll be able to show them exactly how much money you will be able to save them on their merchant service providing, and then be able to give them the steps necessary to make that transaction.
Exactly. It is as easy as that. You don't even have to talk to me at first if you don't want to. You've got my email address. I have email at home. I've got email at work. If you want to just send me a copy of your merchant statement, I can do a side-by-side comparison. We say 48-hour turnaround, but typically I can get it turned around for you in less than 24 hours. And then
make sure if you do email him, if you do email Marcus your statement or when you call his office, please make sure to mention that you are a NAFAC 203K in a Box NAFAC member. So either say 203K in a Box or say NAFAC, National Association of FHA Consultants, so that they know to give you special treatment.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. And then again, I'll contact you. I would like to talk to you just because not only do I want to explain to you what we can provide you pricing-wise, but I also need to have an idea of what you're looking for. Ultimately, it's not what we can offer you. Well, it's not what we want to provide you, it's what you need. So you tell me what you need, I will help provide you with what you need and give you a better solution.
Excellent.
And, you know, from there, if you just want to tell me to get lost, then tell me to get lost. I mean, no harm, no foul. At least you know where you're currently priced, and, you know, you can go from there with another provider if you want to, or continue to stay with the one you're at.
Well, I definitely want to thank you, Marcus, first of all, for my company, for all the money you're saving me every month. I cannot thank you enough. And I do want to thank you so much for taking time on your evening. Again, yeah, this is like 6:45 for you, your time. It's 9:45 for some of us here on the East Coast. We have members in California. We have members all across the United States. So we basically we're everywhere, and we know that you are as well. So I hope that if anybody has any questions, they will reach out to Marcus, and he actually will be, like I said, he's very accessible and really he is eager to help you. So please do a side-by-side comparison. Find out what this can do for you, and at the very least, know what your merchant provider is actually charging you. Because I can tell you that was the biggest thing that I learned when I did my side-by-side comparison with APS. I found out just what the fees, the hidden fees were, and where all the fees were that I was being charged that I didn't know I was paying. Okay, so it is definitely for you. So, Marcus, I want to thank you so much for being on the call. You're more than welcome to stay on the call if you'd like. And if anyone has any but if you do if you do have to leave, we totally understand. If anyone has any last-minute questions, Jamie will forward them over to you. But please feel free to stay on the line. And for the last few minutes of the call tonight, since this is a Power Team all Power Team coaching call, as we did last month, we're not going to have accountabilities. We're just going to basically have our guest speaker and then share some new information that's useful to all members. And we're going to have our focus points and our sharing time on the Power Team Innovator and the Power Team Achiever calls. So, what do I have to share with you guys today as far as new information that's useful to everybody? Well, I know I was really excited to be able to share this information with you, and so here it is. So let me go here right now. Hang on, let's get there. If I can get there right now. And what I'm about to show you, I think this is going to work. It worked a second ago. Oh, hang on, I've got to get to the right email. I'm going to show you the new Genesis system. It isn't 100%, but we've got some pages on it that we're really excited about, so let me go to that page for you right now. Hold on. And let me show you what the login looks like for Genesis and some of the pages we've got ready. We are going to be asking for some guinea pigs. We're going to be asking for some members, and in your newsletter, you will see the instructions on how to get invited to be able to beta test our new software. So if you are looking at the screen right now, and I'm not sure if anybody can see, yep, you can see it, okay. This is the new Genesis login page, and this is actually web-enabled, so this is accessible from any device. And I'm not sold on this logo. I would love your feedback on the logo. I actually have a different logo in mind and a different color theme in mind for the Genesis system, but this is what it looks like right now. And when you log in, this is your dashboard. I'm also not sold on the color schemes, and so I'm actually going to be working on new color schemes. Okay, so someone here who shall remain Michael Troisi said put a red dress on it. I was trying to stay away from the red, guys, so that's why I told the programmer I don't want red because they always see red. So that's why I think I might go more with the flag colors, excuse me, a blue, white, and maybe a little tinge of red. But this is the dashboard of the Genesis system, and it's supposed to be very simple to operate because, remember, I want to be able to allow you to operate this from your tablet, from your smartphone, from your iPad, yuck. So basically what you will be able to do when it's fully functional, you will be able to click one of these project snapshot links, and you'll be able to see which of the files that you have in the system that have not had their feasibility study completed. And you'll be able to see which one of your files has an outstanding contractor bid that needs to be submitted. And you will also be able to see which one of your projects need to have a draw scheduled within the next 7 days. It will be integrated so that it will be able to have a clock ticking or countdown timer for the last time you did a draw, and so that if it gets close to within 7 days of a 30-day time frame, you'll be able to get a list and see all of those clients that you need to go ahead and contact to be able to schedule a draw inspection. You'll be able to search by customer, by property address, by contractor, by lender, any way you want to submit your query. Now, when you click this button here that says Start New Project, come on, open up. There it is, coming now. There it is. Okay, great. Okay, when you click this button, you will be able to go in and type in your client contact information, and actually it will be integrated with ISN, so it will be able to push the data over to you that will put in the subject property, the lender, the contractor, the appraiser if you have that information. The real estate agent information will most likely not travel over here because we don't work with real estate agents in our process, so that will stay on your ISN side. This side will only have this information that you need for the 203K. And all the contact information of property address, current address, phone number, email, etc. for your client will be able to be pushed over from ISN. And then you'll be able to click this button here, and I don't think it's working because it didn't work earlier. Yeah, it doesn't work yet. You'll click this button here, and it will create your allowable fee and consultant agreement. And then here you'll be able to print your pre-inspection documents. Okay, so Tom Kruger says that he thinks it should be green because green reminds him of money and it's easy on the eyes. That's a good point. I might have to do some data testing with some green coloring. Thank you, Tom. So the way this software is going to be designed and is designed is to make it so that you don't have to wonder what is the next step in your process. So, for example, as you see here, new project pre-inspection client setup, it actually, okay, you put the client information in. Well, what's the next thing I need to do? I need to create my consultant allowable fees and agreements, or I need to print my pre-inspection documents. Over here where it says blank printable reports, any of the reports that are able to be generated with client information for speed, in case you have a quick job you have to hurry up and run out to and you don't have time to print off the forms or you don't have the details, you can print blank forms that you can actually fill in the blanks on site. Also, if you click the link here, I'm hoping this will work. Boom. This is actually shares with you a whole bunch of dashboard options for you. View pending orders, and all these things are going to be different. We're going to be changing some of these things. Shipping and handling fees is going to be changed to mileage. I'm going to have a mileage calculator that you can it's supposed to be mileage fees, that you'll be able to have an instant mileage calculator so that you can see how much mileage you need to add to your projects quick and easily. Printable pages, managing your photo galleries if you need to process your photos, SEO tools and settings for your website, email settings and templates, statistics and graphs, so you can see we're making it as easy and usable as we possibly can so that you actually can have something that's fun to work with as you're looking at on the screen. does anybody have any questions about it so far? Because we're getting very close, I would say dangerously close, to being ready to have our beta tests. So as you can see, you would be an administrator. You'd be able to see messages that come up for you. You'd be able, on your account, and let's see if I can go out to that. It's not open yet. Okay. On your account, you'll be able to give contractors and lenders their own specific logins to access your account. And when they access your account, they will then be able to see only those files that they are connected to. So if a contractor is trying to submit a bid, he'll see only those files that he's been invited to bid on. He can go into it, open up that file, and put his bid in. When he'll have completed processing his bid, there will be a little button at the bottom of the bid that says, are you complete? Are you ready to submit is your bid complete? Are you ready to submit it? And when he clicks that button, it will send a notification to you as the consultant that the contractor has completed the bid. And we're hoping to see if we can actually make it as an automatic email that gets sent to you, the loan officer of the file, and the client that says, please check your Genesis reporting system. A contractor has completed a bid for one of your projects. And we might even actually have, the contractor has completed the bid for the property at 123 Main Street. And so that's what it's going to be working on. We're going to be putting in the 203K flow of events, and it isn't in, not yet, it's not in yet, but in the 203K flow of events, we're going to be taking, let me see if I can show it to you, and they're working on this right now. This is one of the fun things that I'm excited about, and if I can get it to open. And let's see if I can minimize this and minimize that. Okay, there it is. And let's go here. $203K flow of events. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. I know, so there it is. Losing my mind. Okay, great. So if you're looking at the screen, you see where you see here the 203K consultant flow of activities? Well, what we're going to be doing is we're going to have on that tab of the website this entire flow of events. And where you see that it is in blackened out or in certain color, if you'll be able to, it'll have a hyperlink so that if you click that link, it'll take you to a page where you actually can complete that page for your client. So you'll be able to keep your flow, you'll be able to use this as a guide for completing the flow of events that you need. So when you have to complete your allowable fee agreement, you can click that and access that. So question is, so let's see, questions. I'm actually going to open up the audio because I'm getting a lot of comments here, okay? Thomas Mitchell says, very excited. Doug Corbett says, I love it. I can follow this. I write enough notes to myself already. And who was doing the beta testing? That's the question when you get your monthly newsletter for June, which will be coming out the end of next week. I'm looking for people to send me a request to be a beta tester. I'm looking for some Apple iPad, Mac PC users, Apple PC users, Android tablet users, as well as PC users. So I'm looking for people who want to test it with multiple platforms. Okay? So that is what it looks like. And as I said, we are working. I meet with the programmers at least twice a week. They're fantastic men. They are hosting the site for us. They have an unlimited data storage net. And the fee that they're charging us for data storage is very, very minor right now, very marginal, very, very attractive. And because I pretty much have promised them a whole lot of members. So I'm telling them that we will get them some exposure and they will be able to, grow with us. So I'm unmuting everybody. Does anybody have any comments that they want to share verbally about the system? Okay, everybody is unmuted. Any comments? Okay, you're all unmuted and no one's commenting. Okay, so Ken, you asked the question. Now the important question, how much? Okay, we are still working on that, and what I can tell you at this point is this. All the new members who have joined the 203K in the Box system but have not yet taken advantage or have not yet used or received a copy of the Corporate Niche Rehab Estimator will get this program at no cost. This will be no additional cost. It will be basically the cost that they paid for the Rehab Estimator will apply to their purchase of this system. Also, I can say that those members of the 203K in a Box coaching program who are in the Diamond level, and if I go to the Power Team site, if you look at the Diamond levels, those of you who are in the Diamond level will get this this will be an included, no additional cost for that. I'm still working out what the cost will be for those people who are less than Diamond level membership, or how it will translate in when we move to 203K in a Box and we fuse it with NAVFAC. So how much will it cost? It will be very nominal. It's not going to be horribly burdensome. I don't know why this screen's not opening up. It's a mess. That screen was supposed to open up. It didn't. And the question is, can they integrate with ISN? I think I've already answered that. Yes, it will be fully integrated with ISN. Okay? So are there any other comments or questions? What do you think of the format?
Looks great to me, Catherine. You've done a great job so far.
So, yeah, you know what? Tom just made a comment. He said, I think this will bring in new banker relationships. I think it will set a pattern of behavior that the lenders are going to say, wow, this makes it easy for us to do this. And you know what? I am hoping that this will put Renovation Ready into a second position. I think we'll move into a toll position with the ease and understanding of how to do the process, and they can actually see what to work with it. The current password, I'm not going to give out the current password because very few of the tabs are ready yet, and it's still basically in a development stage. So the password is for me right now. So once we're actually looking to beta test by the end of the first week of June, so the end of 2 weeks. By the time I come back from my son's Air Force Academy graduation, his wedding, and my 20th anniversary, my husband and I are going away for 3 days for my 20th anniversary. By the time I get back from all three of those milestones, we should be ready to do some beta testing. Okay? The question is, will there be, Mike, you're unmuted. You can ask your question verbally. Mike Troisi. Mike, you want to talk or not? Okay. Mike asked the question, will there be a training session? I need hands-on training. It took me a long time to learn the Rehab Estimator. Yes, it took a long time to learn that because you didn't know what you were doing when. This should be incredibly easy, largely because it's going to be driven. It's going to be process-driven. So you're going to have it so that it's going to open up so that you actually, okay, great. The window opened up. Thank you. Thank you for that, Ken. So if you're looking at the member status, if you look at your different membership levels, you'll know what you're currently paying for your coaching call membership. And this is the Diamond membership level here. We have a good number of members who are members of the Diamond level, and so they will get their membership they'll get their software for absolutely free. And who else is asking a question? And congratulations on all three. All right, so I'm really pleased with it. So it's going to be, like I said, process driven. So when you get to when you open up the dashboard, you're going to be able to see what do I need to do next, because as you see on the screen now, it shows you what the steps are. Okay, you've got those appointments that are scheduled. So if it's scheduled, you know that you have to process paperwork. And so what feasibility reports do I need to complete? And the next step is to get the contractor's bid. And the next step is the work write-up. And the next steps are the draws. So this is going to be so process-driven that it's going to basically, and actually I've asked him, but he's not sure if he can do this at this point. But, you know, there's going to be new versions and new releases, of course. I've asked them if there's a way that as soon as you log in, if there is draws that need to be scheduled or overdue for scheduling, that it will automatically be a pop-up window. That as soon as you log in each day, it'll have like a little taskbar that says, attention, you have, the following properties need to have draws. Because where do we make most of our money? We make most of our money in 203K on the back end in our draws. So there's nothing more frustrating than finding, and especially if the lender isn't staying on track with it, finding that, you're 8 weeks in, you're 8 to 10 weeks into a project where you should have had a draw, you're 7 or 8 weeks out, and your draw should have been at 3 or 4. Well, there's 2 draws you've lost. And lenders are not that up on keeping track with the draws. So you need to make sure you are keeping track with the draws, because that's where your money comes in. And so for me, having 20 active projects, it's a full-time job for Jamie just to keep track of what needs to be done. I want the software to do it for us. And so that way you come in and say, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, which contractor bids are outstanding? Oh, that's right, I haven't gotten bids on this. Or this project, I have the bids back, but the client I haven't completed the work write-up yet, and I haven't accepted the payment. It's also going to keep track of your money. It's going to keep track on a monthly basis of how much income you've received in feasibility study fees as well as draw fees. How will feasibility study work? How will work write-up work? Well, you'll see it. It's going to be, once we get it, the programming, that's the most important part of the program is the feasibility. Basically what you'll do is you'll go to your customer page, and you can't go there right now, but you'll go to your customer page, and then it will be broken down by the actual steps involved. So it will say feasibility, work write-up. So I'm very excited that you guys are asking all these questions. Trust me, you know I'm going to take care of it because I've lived 203K working with the rehab estimator for so long. I know what I want mine to do. So any other questions about the system? Any comments? It will also have in here, under the marketing tools tabs, it will have all of the marketing tools for you. It will have the flyers. It will have newsletter articles that you actually can publish or give out to clients. The success supplies that you have on the 203K that you get in your monthly mailing will be listed here. Any kind of an announcement, I'll be able to send out automated announcements to everyone about changes or updates that FHA has. I'll be able to send out emails to you. As a general admin, I'll be able to send you messages. So if you go to the dashboard, you can see that there was a link that had messages. It was a message screen. So you'll be able to see if there's a message that I have for you. And you have an advanced search feature that you can just search by just about anything. So there's a couple typos I see, favor resetting. So we have to work on a few typos, but I've been trying to pick them up. So I am looking forward to everyone giving me their input. Again, we're really hoping to have this live, like I said, the second week of June, and by the end of June for beta testing, and by the end of June full launch. I'm not looking to have to need a long-term beta testing mode. So I hope you like what we've done so far. I was really excited to be able to share stuff with you so you can see basically when the loan is closed, you'll be able to enter that information in. All this information is going to be able to help you keep track. So you'll be able to see when a project is pending closing. All this is going to be ready for you. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I thank you so much, everyone, for being on the call tonight. I will be unavailable all next week. I will be at my son's graduation and wedding, and then from June 1st, my anniversary is, we fly back on June 1st. My anniversary is June 4th, so I'll be back to work on June 5th. So the second, third, and fourth, we're going to maybe just go to the Poconos or just go someplace and just hide in a corner for 3 days just so I can remember what my husband looks like. I've been working so hard on all these different activities, and then I will be back to work. So we also have a new staff member. I have hired my daughter Samantha back. I go from one daughter to another, so I guess soon I'll end up with my oldest daughter, Adele, I guess, if I keep going through daughters. So I have hired my daughter Adele back, Samantha back, excuse me. She's going to be my administrative manager and working with Jamie. And for those of you in Florida, I have very good news for you all. We are coming to Tampa in December I'm not sure just exactly when, but I'm focusing right now on the second week of December, the Saturday, the second week of December, which is the 13th, for a 203K Day of Discovery 2.0 in Tampa, Florida. We've already talked to a hotel. I think we're going to be at the Embassy Suites. And so for those of you in Florida, I hope you'll like that idea. For those of you not in Florida, come to Florida in the winter and hang out with us. So does anybody have any other comments, questions, concerns, or critiques? You are all unmuted with just a few exceptions. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much. I will see you on the other side of June. Remember, the Power Team Innovator Coaching Call is the second Thursday in June, which is June 2nd. Power Team Achievers is the third Thursday, which is June 19th. And All Power Team Coaching Call is June 26th. So by that time, we should have full launch. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for being on the call. Happy Memorial Day. Enjoy those hot dogs. Think of me walking around the academy. I'll take good pictures and I'll post them to Facebook, so stay online. Good night.